Monster Hunter Wilds might be my favorite video game ever, and it looks like it's only going to be getting better from here. As a veteran of the franchise, I think what really sets it apart from other major titles like Risebreak, Worldborn, or even Generations Ultimate is that it's a Monster Hunter game that respects your time. Now, that's not going to stop me from sinking every possible minute of my life into this game. Good lord, is it not going to stop me from sinking every minute of my life into this game. But it's nice that I don't have to. With Title Update 1 right around the corner, I wanted to take a minute and talk about one of the ways that Wilds respects your time, and that's with regards to crown hunting. For those of you unaware, crown hunting refers to seeking out monsters that are exceptionally larger or smaller than the standard deviation for their species, denoted by a large or small golden crown. Hence the name. In the past, this has been a tedious process, and I'll be honest, it's one I've never bothered with at all. The only way to do it before Wilds was to eyeball the model of the monster, hunt it, and check your reward screen to see if you were right about its size. Maybe you got lucky, maybe you didn't, maybe you got a good eye. I have terrible vision. Wilds, though, has finally given us some tools that make this much, much easier. 3 tools, actually. And for today's video, I'm going to touch on each of them. Let's begin. The first of these tools is probably the most well-known by this point. The Binoculars. The Binoculars have appeared in every Monster Hunter game since, I think, Freedom 2, but they've never really been useful until now. Before, they were just a set of binoculars. They had terrible zoom, but I guess you could see things a little bit bigger. In Wilds, they finally have a useful purpose. When you spot a crown monster through the binoculars, you'll see a crown icon on them. Either a small gold crown, a large silver crown, or a large gold crown. Now, I swear I've seen a small silver as well, but everything I've looked up tells me that those don't exist, so I might just be actually insane. But the advantage of this is obvious. Being able to see if a monster is the size that you're looking for before even starting a hunt lets you know if it's a hunt that's worthwhile. If you are explicitly crown hunting, this tool should not be ignored. You will save hundreds of hours. The second tool is your friends. No, seriously. In Wilds, you can save investigations with monsters that you encounter out in the wild to be repeated up to 3 times each. Everything about the investigation is saved. The weather, the time of day, the other monsters that are appearing, and most importantly for this conversation, the monster's size. So your friends can save their crown investigations and share them with you. Just make sure you repay the favor. If you see something you know that your friends are looking for, make sure to save it. The third tool is jank. And specifically, the jank that's found in the Wounded Hollow. I have no idea if this is intentional or if this is a bug, but when you encounter a monster in the Wounded Hollow, it will spawn with a random size, the same as anywhere else. But when you leave the Wounded Hollow and return, its size will randomly reshuffle. You can repeatedly load into the hollow, use your binoculars to check the size of your target, leave, and come back until you find the crown that you're looking for, making this by far the fastest way to find a crown for any given monster. Note that as of this recording, every monster in the base game can show up in the Wounded Hollow, except for the Guardians and the Apex monsters. Those you're going to have to encounter out in the field naturally. A quick bonus tip. You can rest at camps to change the time of day and the season to refresh the list of monsters around you. This can help a lot with finding Apexes, which typically show up in their respective biomes during an inclemency period, or with Guardians, which you can find in the ruins of Wyveria. Also, please note that the following monsters do not have crowns, and as a result do not count towards crown achievements. Jindahad, Guardian Arkveld, and Zoshia. Note that crown hunting doesn't really get you anything aside from some icons in your monster field guide, achievements, and maybe some titles. There are no weapons and no armor sets that are unlocked by crown hunting, so you don't have to do this. I don't even recommend doing this, even if you're usually a completionist. For a lot of players, this isn't going to be a fun process. For some weird, bizarre reason, I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm looking forward to adding Mizutsune's crowns to my collection when Title Update 1 drops next week. If you found this helpful, please consider liking and leaving a comment on the video below. YouTube loves that sort of thing. If you have any other tips for crown hunting, anything that I didn't cover in this video, please leave them below for your fellow hunters as well. I'm not claiming to know everything about the game, I've just got entirely too many hours in it. Now, in the spirit of having too many hours in it, and continuing to have too many hours in it going forward, I'm planning to do a lot with Monster Hunter Wilds, and I mean a lot. All the footage you've seen here was streamed on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Johnny_Woe. I'm planning to start streaming there semi-regularly. Not sure what my schedule is going to be for that just yet, but you can catch me there periodically. In addition to that, I'm planning a couple of other videos, other tips and tricks for some things that might not be talked about too much, some general loadout advice, fishing. I unironically love the fishing game in this game. It's weirdly fun when you get to the end of it. I know no one's going to believe me about that, but sit tight, we'll get there. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and happy hunting.